Okay, so again in question 22, so Paro speaks now to the entire nation, not just to midwives. He tells everybody. What does it tell them? That if you see any boy walking around, that they should take him and throw him into the river. But the girls, they should let them live. So look what an amazing thing that happened. The Jews went from being respected and liked by the population, and everybody got along with them, and now people feel comfortable taking Jewish little kids and throw them into the river. Look what a change. So now let's look a little closer as to exactly what happened. Some of these things we discussed already in class, but let's put them into writing so we can see clearly the process that Paro started. Okay, a closer look. So if you look back at Pasuk Tet, okay, if you look in Pasuk Tet, we looked at that Pasuk and we actually divided to see the step-by-step approach that Paro took. So Vayomer Elamo, right? So the first thing that he says to them is, Hine, just to look, right? 23:1. The first thing that he says to the Egyptians is, just look, right? He wants to bring attention to the Jews. Look at the Jews, just look. Number 2, the second thing that he does is Bnei Israel. He makes a statement. He refers to Bnei Israel as a nation. Right? That's the second thing that he says. Nothing bad, nothing negative. All he says, they're a nation. He was the first one in history to call us a nation. Right? Till this time, till this point in history, we were known as a family. The family of Yaakov, the family of Yitzchak, the family of Abraham. Right? We're a family. Okay, so again, this we discussed back in Pasuk Tet. You can look back in question number 9 in your notes. We spoke about that. Now we're going to see a little bit closer the following. If you refer back to page 1, prefix number 6, in the very beginning of your workbook, where we have the vocab sheet. So there, number 6 is a mem. And then we saw that a mem before a word can have two meanings. It could mean than or from. Like if I say, Mi Mitzrayim, from Mitzrayim, me'abayit, from the house. But mem can also mean in comparison, more than something else. So if we looked at Pasuk carefully now, Pasuk Tet, it says at the end, Rav ve'atzum mimenu. Again, you should be looking back at Pasuk Tet and feel free to stop the video at any time that you need to. The last words of that Pasuk is Rav ve'atzum mimenu. So there are two ways to understand these last three words based on that mem. Either he's saying that Bnei Israel are more, Rav, ve'atzum, and stronger mimenu than us. That's number 1. The mem means than, right? Bnei Israel are stronger and more than us. But the mem can also be something else. It could also be from. Often the mem means from, like we've said before, Mi Mitzrayim, right? So maybe he's saying Bnei Israel are more and stronger from us. Two different things. Either he's saying Bnei Israel are greater and more powerful than us, or they are greater and stronger from us. What does that mean, from us? That they're stronger from us? What does that mean? Think about it. And I wish I could hear your answers. But you're probably thinking that when somebody is stronger from someone, it means that they get the strength from them. So perhaps Paro is saying to the Egyptian population, not only are the Jews stronger and greater in number than you, which is a problem, but more than that, you know where they get the strength from? It's from you. They took away from you. So when you go to question number 4, which of these two statements is more likely to arouse greater hatred towards Bnei Israel? Number one, saying that the Jews are greater and stronger than the Egyptians. That's pretty bad. But what about number two, saying Bnei Israel are stronger and greater from you? So what do you think? Is it one that is a more something that is going to cause greater hatred, or is number two? Your opinion. And then explain why do you think that your answer is correct. Again, that's a matter of opinion. I look forward to hearing from you when we get back together in class. Again, stop the video when you need to and write down your answers. Okay, we go now to just a couple of things. Pasuk Yud. Paro made the following statement. He said, look, if there is going to be a war, the Bnei Israel will fight with the enemy against us. They'll join the side of the enemy. They'll turn against us. That's what he said back in Pasuk Yud when he was talking to the people, to the Egyptians, and he wanted the Egyptians to develop hatred towards the Jews, to dislike the Jews. He said, if an enemy comes and starts a war against us, the Jews are going to fight on the side of the enemy against us. So why would people believe that? Like, who says? That's like such a crazy thing that you accuse people who live with you that they're going to fight against you with the enemy, that they're going to turn sides. But now it makes a lot of sense, because look what Paro has been saying. The logic behind Paro's claim is the following. What Paro has been showing the Egyptians, what he wanted them to believe, is that the Jews care about whom? They care about themselves. They don't care about the Egyptians. Everything they have, they've taken away from you. They're strong because they took away from you. So what he's been saying is, if the Jews only care about themselves, if there is a war, well, who are the Jews going to fight with? With the enemy against the Egyptians, because they don't care about you Egyptians. So this was the logic. This is how Paro was trying to convince the Egyptians that the Jews were not good citizens. They care only about themselves. They're going to turn against the Egyptians. If there is a war, they're going to fight with the enemy, on the side of the enemy, against the Egyptians. Why? Because Paro has been convincing the Egyptians that the Jews care only about themselves. They don't care about the country. And those of you who know a little bit of history, unfortunately know that this is something that Jews have been accused many times, that they're not loyal to the country where they live. They only care about themselves. Okay, question 25. Again, we discussed this briefly in class. What caused Paro to oppress the Bnei Israel? Because he was afraid that the Jews are become too strong, and he wanted to limit their growth. He wanted to limit their strength. That was the goal. The reason why Paro made the Jews slaves was because he wanted to make them weak so they would not become strong. So therefore, what type of slavery work that he imposed on them? Work that was designed to make them weak, to prevent them from getting strong. Because that was the point of the work. As we discussed in class, it was not to produce goods. Paro didn't need anything from them. He just wanted to make sure that they don't continue to develop and to grow stronger. Okay. And finally, we're going to see that Paro said that the plan against Bnei Israel has to be one that is smart. Right? We're missing over here. Paro, that the plan against Bnei Israel had to be one that is smart. Chachma, right? And let's see why. Let's see what was the chachma, what was the wisdom, what was so clever about Paro. Okay, so if we look back in Psukim Tet and Yud, so there we see that first Paro speaks to the Egyptians, right? To convince them that the Jews are a threat. They're a danger to the Egyptians. That's stage number one. All right? He speaks to the people. Look, the Bnei Israel are a nation. They're not just a family. They're strong, right? They're stronger than us. They're strong from us. Stage number two. Once the Egyptians already are nervous about the Jews, that, yeah, you know what, there are people and there is a danger. So question number 2, the second stage in Psukim Yud Aleph through Yud Dalet is when Paro begins the slavery, right? He appoints officers to make sure that the Jews are working and producing bricks and building storage houses. So that's the slavery. Okay, stage number 3. In Pasuk Tedvav, what does Paro do when the plan doesn't work so well? So he speaks to the midwives and tells them, kill the baby boys. But that didn't work either. So finally comes stage number 4, and that is where it tells the population, right, all the Egyptians, to throw the boys into the river. So this stage you show how Paro developed his plan step by step. He didn't start at stage number 4, go throw the Jews in the river. Nobody would do that. But he began little by little. First he showed them that the Jews are a threat, they're a danger to us. He turns the Egyptians against the Jews, and once the Egyptians are worried about the Jews, then he hopes to get them to cooperate with him in his plan. Okay, so I hope that this is helpful to you, and I look forward to seeing you and discussing this with you.